Hello, it's Jason Payne for Cole Banker, Dean Harp Realtors. Well, today I'm back in Johnson Ranch in a really beautiful section of the community with some amazing views out the back. But we're out here because my client who reached out to me to use me as his realtor, I told him I'm paying for the foundation inspection, which we did that last month, and a pre-sheetrock / pre-installation inspection. And that's what we're doing today. So we're about to go talk to Chad with Alamo Real Pro, and he's already been out for a little while, but he's going to point out what he saw and what's going to be on the report. And what I'll do is I'll hand that report over to the construction manager and this video so they can make these repairs done, because I want to make sure my clients get a good house done. That's why I pay for these inspections. All right, let's go talk to Chad.
Ready to go?
Yep.
All right. So obviously, you can see we got broken windows at the front of the house.
I always consider those good luck.
Yeah, there's 3 of them, I think. There's 1, 2, 3 right here. I usually do see that on these quite a bit because there's guys moving around, throwing tools around, and sometimes things get broken. So I always write up quite a things on the exterior of the house just because it's a weather barrier, air barrier. It's trying to keep weather out of the house. And so I'm writing up stuff like loose tape. Even though these may be properly overlapped, taping the joints is good, to keep air from moving into the house. But I am calling it out that it's loose. One thing I did call out in this house is they're using dry line, weather barrier, and Tyvek tape. It is a more than a 1.5 inch wide tape, which Dryline likes, but usually they want their own brand of tape to be used.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to say the builder needs to check with the manufacturer's installation instructions to see if that's approved. In my opinion, it's not. You can treat the joints in a couple different ways. You can overlap it 3/4 inch, or you can tape it. But I can't tell the overlap because they taped it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's just a question in the report. Hey, is this an approved tape? Check with Tyvek or check with Dryline, and does it mess with the warranty? Any sort of warranty that comes along with the barrier. And then I called out some damage. Obviously, any sort of tears or any sort of face damage on it needs to be replaced or repaired properly. I did call out, sorry, I'm going back and forth here.
You're just fine.
There was maybe it's down there, but any of these overshots, like any nail overshots, those need to be sealed up because water can get in. There's some that aren't even driven. See the nails up there?
Yeah.
And then more damage up there. Again, I'm giving examples in the report. They should go around to like areas and make sure everything's good, but I try to point out as much as I can. Coming along here, there was one section that was really loose. And if you go into the interior, a lot of the nails missed. And you can see, you can fit your hand under here. Mm-hmm. They did put some foam in here, but it really needs to be pushed in and sealed.
Wow.
And it's properly secured. Sorry, now my phone's going off here.
That's all right.
Yeah, so anything like that, and any sort of loose tape, again, they may have overlapped this properly per manufacturer's instructions. I can't really tell because they got tape installed, but the tape's loose.
Gotcha.
So re-secure the tape. If it's going to be on there, it needs to be secured. Okay, I always point this out too. There's pre-drilled holes in these window flanges, and they always nail outside. They're trying to do it quick, and they just nail right through the flange. There are a couple windows that I'll point out to you that are damaged because of it, where they'll shoot a nail and it'll break the flange. So you'll probably have to fight with them to get them to replace that. Again, any sort of overshots and things like that. For the most part, they're doing a fairly decent job on fastening it to the house. Flashing tape around penetrations. It should be in a shingle-like fashion. It should be the 2 sides put on and then the top. There's like 7 or 8 areas of penetrations on the house where they did the tape wrong like this. Gotcha. Because water could potentially get behind there. I mean, water would have to work its way in there, but it really could work its way down in there. Yeah, so more damaged flashing tape. Again, you want to get that taken care of. More loose tape back here around some areas of the windows. The flashing tape, again, it's not really doing anything if it's that loose. And then above the window corners, there's some loose ones too. Trying to think of any highlights. So that's kind of happening everywhere. Again, flashing tape over there at that penetration. That gas line is improper. The top should be over the sides, and that flashing tape down there at that pipe. Watch out for nails.
Yep.
There's a lot of I've stepped on a nail a couple of years ago. It wasn't fun. trying to point out stuff I haven't pointed out. So I just said several locations on these underdriven fasteners, or ones that are missing and holes. Let's go this way, but watch out. This is where all the nails are.
Yay.
Yeah.
I don't have my work boots on today.
Yeah, I don't either. I usually wear them, but I'm like... So, I mean, a fairly decent job on the weather barrier. Just, you know, pretty common stuff that I would find. Again, improper tape. Water can get in there. Same thing. That one's okay.
Hey, and they use the zip system.
Yeah.
Zip tape.
Yeah, and this one is not. Again, this one is not. Again, I also called out poor drainage, site drainage. So even
now, is that something that they would fix later, or even at this stage?
The builder will usually fix it later, but it should be fixed now. The foundation's poured. So you got a lot of. I also called out there's a lot of trash. I mean, the workspace out here in the lot has a lot of trash. You know, looking down here, that should be all cleaned up. You know, pretty much on a daily basis if they can, but very poor grade on this side, and also some portions of the front where the water's not draining away from the foundation. It really should during the build too.
Even during the build, gotcha.
Yeah. I did go on the roof. They did finish, so I did finally go on the roof. There is a little bit of damage on the front ridge.
Okay.
And that's all I really called out. It was just a couple cracked shingles where they folded it over the ridge and it cracks it, so they should be replaced. Again, you know, some front windows are cracked there. Oh, I didn't show you. Let's go to the back.
All right. Go through the house this time?
Yeah, go through the house. I wanted to show you that flange that's broken on the window. There's a couple windows, but... Big house.
Yeah, big, beautiful house.
Big house, yeah. I think it was back here. Yeah, I just, you know, see that? They shoot the nail and then crack it. You know, you have to talk to the builder about that. That should be replaced. Just some things like that are happening in the house. And then I always call out, so we'll come back in the house here and take a look inside. You know, I do call out certain things, obviously, you know, like studs that aren't touching the top plate. There's a couple that aren't touching the bottom plate, and over here. Do you see those over here? Let's go take a look over here. Right. Studs need to be continuous in a wall system. None of these are touching at all. None of those.
The front corner of the garage.
Yeah, so they probably should be fixing those, obviously, because you don't want any sort of, what's a stud there for if it's not doing anything? It's not touching. And then also, so these outside walls, the exterior walls, need either anchor bolts or straps to hold the wall to the foundation. They need to be within a certain distance to the corners, and they're using ram set instead of anchor bolts in some areas. These nails right there. It should be an approved strap or a bolt.
Gotcha.
So I called out quite a few areas where they're doing that, where they're not using bolts.
And do you see that quite often?
Yeah. Okay. I'd say 50% of the time.
Gotcha.
Probably, yeah. And a lot of it was marked. You know, a lot of these walls were marked with some red paint.
Where the construction manager already came out
anchor bolt, but then they shot it with ram set.
Gotcha.
Trying to think of, let's go back over to the small garage. I'm just thinking of stuff as I'm coming through. But,
that's all right. It makes it fun.
You know, it's our job to call out things, you know, that, yeah, like some of these rafters aren't touching the ridge board. You see that up there, that gap?
Okay.
From this rafter here coming up to this ridge. It's just a gap. They didn't touch it. It should be touching, and the mitered cut should be matching, so it can be up against the ridge board. They did a pretty good job on all these joist hangers. I really didn't find anything that was missing a fastener, which I usually do find that. They did put this strap in here thinking that the wall was probably going to be extended further. So they're going to have to somehow cover this or get that out of there. Because there's no wall here to strap down. But nothing huge on this one.
That's good, son.
I will point out something kind of... let's go over to this bathroom over here. So, the commode flange in this bathroom is supposed to be a certain distance from any sort of wall or obstruction. And when I measure it, oh, it looks great from here, but not from here. So, it's the type of tub that put it out of compliance. So, it is shooting out maybe a quarter inch and made it wrong. So, I don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to change out the tub? Because they're definitely not going to move that.
No, they can't move that. That's in the foundation.
Yeah, it's the tub that threw it out, and they were thinking, okay, the tub from here, but this, when it pushes out, now it's too close.
Okay, just a little bit.
It's just the design of the tub that kind of did that.
You can see some light coming through some of these spots here.
Yeah, that's to the front room though.
Oh, okay.
So that's just they put the weather barrier there as a structural wall, as a structural barrier, because it can be used as structural. So the engineer probably told them to put this here on this wall.
Okay.
Because it is a structural weather barrier,
Right.
but so that wouldn't matter to me. I'll show you something interesting too over here. You see weird stuff sometimes.
Hey, I always like seeing weird stuff.
Like,
Don't check my internet browser.
look right here. Oh, nice. Right there. I guess they're using it as like a ninja star.
There you go.
Just threw it up in there.
Awesome sauce.
Other things like you'll see some of these that say shim. Some of these headers and these studs here, you'll see a gap, too much of a gap there. That one's not in particular that bad, but there are some that need to be shimmed out. I'll try to find one for you. I think there's one over here. Oh yeah, I called this out. This whole wall section, there's no ram sets at all.
Okay.
And each wall section needs at least 2.
Raj.
You see these here? Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, that's why it's...
That one's missing completely.
Is this how it's supposed to be or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just missing on the other one. Now I'm not seeing a gap. Now I can't find a gap. Oh, right there. Okay. See the gap between the header and the stud?
Get closer here.
I mean, if I can fit a credit card in there, like right up there, it needs to be shimmed.
Okay.
You don't want any sort of, once the house starts to move, you'll get a little crack there maybe. So you want to make sure it's shimmed out. And then you have some under here that need to be shimmed also. You see how they marked here? Anchor bolt, anchor bolt. That's what these mean. And there's none. They just put ram sets.
Gotcha.
And then I called out here, missing also. They didn't mark that one. Approved bolt or strap. I think a couple over here too. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, so you see how it has a break there? There needs to be 2 there. Bolts. They did a pretty good job of pan flashing all the windows. Like to see that. Good. Like to see them go up that high. It's pretty good. So I didn't see any issues with that. What else?
Do they get the measurement right on this tub?
Yeah, that one's fine. For some reason, the other one is not.
Gotcha.
It's the tub. Like I said, the tub pushed it out of compliance there.
Just by a quarter of an inch.
Yeah, like, or less. I can't remember exactly, but it's not 15 inches. So 15-inch distance. Oh, not sure. This is the water line for the fridge. Disconnected for some reason. It goes down to the box. It's going up to the supply, but I don't know why it's cut.
Gotcha.
So they're doing something there, but I called that out just in case. You don't want to drywall over that and then water come out of that.
Oh God, that would be so bad.
Yeah. So, trying to think of anything else I called out. There'll be a bunch of things on the report, you know, a bunch of the, you know, overshots on the weather barrier where the nails are overdriven, underdriven, tape loose, missing tape, damaged tape around the flashing areas of the windows. There are some bowed and twisted studs also. And I do try to, like this one, you can see this one. This one's very bowed.
Gotcha.
See how it's like,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they can repair that, you know. They can straighten that out. Usually they'll put a brace between it. But there's, you know, about 6 or 7 of those in the house. Usually I find a lot more on different builders, but this one was pretty good for the most part.
So means they got some pretty good lumber?
Yeah. Sometimes you'll see a bunch of bowed and twisted everywhere. And this one didn't have as many as I thought it would, but it was pretty decent.
Well, there's not a cover on the filter.
I'm just also, I recommend, you know, you got a beam here. And I just recommend they put another stud in here.
Okay.
Just a little bit more structural support. You want the whole beam to be supported. I know they got this column built here, but I really like to see some more underneath that, another stud or two.
Just because it's such a load-bearing wall?
Yeah, I mean, it's a beam, so you want to make sure it's supported completely.
Oh, so yeah, supporting that beam, yeah.
Yeah. Load transfer or whatever. There is one that they did pretty good. I'm trying to find it. That it looked like they did a pretty decent job on. Oh yeah, okay. So you see this big beam here?
Yeah.
That main beam. And see here? They got 4 studs, boom, down to here. Same thing over here. They got the studs all the way to the ground from that beam. So that's good support. I'm kind of bouncing around here, sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, what I do too, I make sure that, you know, I'm following the dryer duct all the way to the roof, and I did check the dryer termination, and it's not screened, and the damper's working fine, so that's good. When I got on the roof, I looked at that. Sometimes you'll see that go to the roof, and there'll be no termination up there.
And it just ends up getting left in the attic.
Yeah,
I've seen that before.
So, or it just goes to the roof deck, and it doesn't go through, and so that's a fire hazard. Trying to think of anything else. All the nail plates on these wires are pretty good.
Okay.
When it's 1.25 inches from the edge to the wire, if it looks close, I'll measure it out. But for the most part, they did a pretty good job on doing those. So I didn't really call those out. I'm trying to think of anything else. Nothing major. Trying to think of anything else. Again, when you see the report, you just, you know,
the report's going to show everything in detail.
Yeah. But again, they're example pictures too. So, you know, if there's 20 overshots on one section of weather barrier, I'm not going to take 20 pictures. I'm just, you know, but you know that. So it's just, I think that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think of anything else that would be something that would be significant, but I didn't see anything super significant. Oh. No, it's not that. It probably was the other bedroom. Maybe a couple. Oh yeah, like, so more bowed and twisted studs, or, you know, I mean, if you're standing over here, both of these studs here, if you look at the top here, you see how bowed those are.
Oh yeah.
I want to get that taken care of before the drywall goes on.
Yeah, insulation. And
don't know why it's bowed. It could be just a bowed piece of wood, or it could be a support issue, or pushing down too hard on it. Who knows? They'll have to determine that. Yep, that's good. Yeah.
Cool. So overall, not so bad?
Yeah.
Just some stuff that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, just typical stuff that we pretty much always find, because we're looking for industry standard deficiencies. Yeah. Because I don't have the plans on me. But yeah, you want to get those anchor bolts taken care of for sure. Oh, another thing. Trash in the walls. So
I don't think you're ever going to get rid of that.
Yeah.
Just hopefully they don't throw insulation up over on top of it.
I know. We've seen it before, where, you know, somebody opens a wall and they want us to come look at something, and they find a Coke
beer can in there for the last 20 years.
Water bottle full of you know what, you know, things like that.
Yep. Comes with the territory.
Yep. Any more questions?
No, like I said, I'm glad we were able to get in here before they did the installation and sheetrock to be able to find these things, because that's why these inspections are so very important.
Oh yeah, I mean this one's probably the most important one for me. This one and the final. Pre-pour, again, like I said, there's some things that can go wrong in that, but it's not as many things that can go wrong on a frame, in my opinion. Maybe other inspectors may be different, but there's a lot to look at this stage.
If someone wanted to reach out to Alamo Real Pro, how do they contact you?
Just go online, alamorealpro.com, or you can go to call the phone number of 210-520-5117.
Good deal.
And we're in San Antonio. I personally am based out of New Braunfels, but most of my inspections are in San Antonio. But we go all over: Austin, south of San Antonio, out to Castroville.
And they could personally request Mr. Chad.
Yes, they could.
Yes,
absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.